Hi guys, Harry Sunday here, letting you know that there's a apparel company that supports the game that you love. It's called thereisonlyonefootball.com, guys. They've got all sorts of stuff, from caps, t-shirts, water bottles, all sorts of accessories, even for your mobile phone. All that sporting stuff you can wear anywhere you want to wear it, guys. That's right. And don't forget the website it's on, therisonlyonefootball.com.
There is only one football!
To show you what's happening right here, right now in the studio, because we got this beautiful shirts that we're showing with Frothy right now, guys. Frothy's back with me. Frothy, what's happening with these shirts, mate? Can you tell me what's happening right now?
Shut up, let me talk. Now,
bloody
listen,
hell, mate.
We have these great tops here.
Yes.
Now, it's a bit of a 2-minute show tonight, I believe. So
Yes.
we're back in town, but we'll be
We are.
officially back in town on
That's right,
Monday
yep,
with
yep,
some
yep,
major announcements and start again. Announcements.
Yes.
Can you spell announcements? Can you?
Announcements.
Can you spell that?
I can't spell
Well,
it all.
leave it for next time. Now, let's go through the tops. Now,
That's
these
right. Yep,
tops,
yep.
well, if you were born 400 years ago, you'd know about these tops. So we've got the great St. George here, I believe.
No, Brisbane Lions,
Sorry
mate.
about that. That's Brisbane Lions there.
Brizzy Lions, mate.
And we got South Melbourne Hellas there.
No, Fitzroy United, you're
Sorry
telling me,
about
mate.
that.
Fitzroy United.
This one's Inter Monaro, is it?
Into Monaro.
No, that's St. George Budapest.
St.
apparently.
George, yes, the Hungarians.
Yes,
The Hungarians,
and over
mate.
to my right, which is your right as well. Are we still
Yes.
on?
We're still on, of course. We're still on,
Well,
mate.
over
Yes.
here, we've got the great Sydney Olympic. And I know the cat has probably ordered a couple of
Oh,
those.
he's got a couple of hundred, mate.
Well, I tell you why he's ordered a couple. I had a chat with Peter Raskopoulos during the week.
Oh, he hates his guts.
And he said to me, Peter Catholos, a cat, has ordered 2 because his gut's so bloody big, he needs 2 jumpers to make
Really?
one. So, well, look, that's only a joke. Cat.
Oh, my God, mate.
Well, look, also, Canberra, what's this? Canberra City.
Canberra City. You know who coached them?
Yes.
In 1977?
Frank Garrock, wasn't
Johnny
it?
Warren.
Johnny Warren.
We're laughing, mate, everywhere.
I told you so, Johnny Warren said. I doubt we'll sell many because how many supporters did they have? That's beside the point. Also, we got Hokoa up there.
That's
great,
right, of course.
Brazilian heritage, are they?
Brasilia. Well, yeah, a lot of them escaped to Brazil.
We'll leave it at that. And the great Marconi.
Marconi.
And let's go through them. Great quality.
Of course.
They fit nicely. They are cheap. You know what? They're too bloody cheap.
$75.
$75 is not even $80.
Plus postage and handling.
Plus postage and handling, and our great friend with David Ben and
Yes.
Arrow Sport.
Arrow Sport together. There is only, and then guys, you can buy them on. There's only
Well,
one
you keep
football.
going. I'll play the great South Melbourne tune.
There is only one football. Where you can get it from? There is only one
There's only one
football.com
football,
in
yes,
conjunction with Arrow Sport. You can also buy fantastic
Yes,
kits for your teams as well
yes.
at Arrow Sport, and they're working together to bring you these fantastic
Yes, they are,
1977
Are we still on?
Phillips
Check 1,
League.
2.
Of course,
Check-
you're bloody
Sorry
on,
about
Frothy.
that. Yep.
And of course, guys, 1977.
Yes,
These shirts are fantastic. You've got the other ones at $150, which are the
Well,
rigid jigs, $150,
yes,
and then
but,
you've got the sublimated ones
yes.
at $75, guys. So yes.
Yes. And can I just say, I
Yes.
suppose it's not appropriate to say this, but my team had a win on the weekend.
Yes, they did.
Well, not the weekend, a couple of days ago. So they're flying, and I tell you what, it's pretty much it. Now we're going to sing a song just to.
Well, I
finish
can't.
the-
We can't
short
actually.
show
We
tonight.
can't actually sing a song tonight
No,
because
well,
we're just
doesn't
doing
matter.
we're just doing the show tonight.
Well,
that's
we're
all.
just advertising the jumpers here.
That's
and,
right, guys. Where to get them from? There is only one
football. That's the one there.
football.com.
And,
So, guys, thank you, guys. Get these fantastic shirts right now because you will never find them. Good night, guys. Thank you for joining us. See you in a couple of days' time. Thanks, guys. Get on Arrow Sport.
Monday,
Arrow Sport. There's only one
We'll
football.com.
probably have Paul Wade on
Thank you,
Monday,
guys.
I
See
believe.
you. Bye-bye.
There's
Thank
going to
you.
be summer we're going to have.
Footballers! Hello?
Welcome, guys, to Footballers. It's the craziest soccer show in the world. And boy, have we got a guest for you tonight. We're not going to tell you until we get him on right now shortly, guys. Here we go, the couple live again. Welcome, everyone. It's Footballers live from Melbourne, live. Check it out, people. How you doing there? Feel the rhythm, man. Here we go. Hup, check it out. Hup. Feel it right now, guys. Hup, hup, hup. Here's the rhythm, guys. Let's all sing right now. Check it out. Hup. Feel it. The cup of life, this is the one. Now is it time? Don't ever stop. We should have known. Gotta
Are we
be
on?
strong. We should have known right from the top. And when you feel the heat, the world is at your feet. No one can hold you back if you really want it. I see it in your eyes. You want the cup of life.
Let's get...
Not the days here, you're gonna get it. Do you really want it? Check it out, guys. Do you really want it? Hey!
Ho!
Here we go. Ali, Ali, Ali. Go, go, go. Ali, Ali, Ali. Tonight's the night. We're gonna celebrate. Here we go. We are the people. We are the passion. We are the history. We are the remnants from the NSL. And we're bloody we're still around. It's our way, the highway, Frothy. It's our way, the highway, Frothy. Tell them it's our way, the highway. Or they're going to be on the highway today. Is that right?
Now, listen.
It's going to happen, mate. It's going to happen
Something
tonight.
serious has popped up.
Hey, get out of here, young bloody. He's still around, mate, that
Now,
bloke. Hang on, mate. Shoot him.
I don't...
Get out of here, will ya? I can't believe this bloke. I finally got him, mate. I finally got him, I reckon.
Now, I don't want any more interruptions.
It's him. Shoot him.
I'm going to be serious here, Harry.
Yes.
Now, listen, I've had emails yesterday.
Here we go again.
Let me just say, I'm going to mention these names.
Yes, yes.
Steve, Chris, Peter, Reese, Reese and Anna.
Anna.
Now,
Yes, I know who that is.
they've all sent me
Yes, yes,
emails.
yes, of course.
I'm going to be serious here, and as you can see, I am serious. They've all sent me emails,
Yes, yes.
and they're very concerned about someone.
Who's that?
They're very concerned about someone, massive weight loss.
Oh, I know it again.
And we just want to say, are you okay? I mean,
Oh, mate, have you seen my guts?
No, there is no gut there.
My guts is gone, mate.
We're very concerned about your health.
I sound like... I'll tell you what's going on.
Now, well, shut up. Let me
Let me
talk.
tell you what's going on
No,
here.
well, let me finish first. Now, is everything all right? Because
I've been taking
if
Arnold-
they put you in jail, you could actually slip through the bars, mate.
Well,
now,
I
what
could-
the hell is going
well,
on?
I'm taking Arnold Schwarzenegger's tablets. How's that?
Well, I reckon you've gone from 5 orange muffins per hour to 2, maybe. Because I see things that I like. Now, I'll tell
Yes,
you
yes,
what,
yes.
there's any young ladies out there.
Hang on, we got a guest. We got to wait.
Well, now, hold on. I'll just let's just put this out there. If
Yes,
there's
yes.
any nice, pretty young ladies out
here we
there.
go again.
Now, here's the man to see. He's available.
I'm not going to talk anymore.
Well, you told me you're out and about. You're looking for a young.
Oh, no, that's not
So
funny.
you've
We're going to
changed your
start
mind,
something.
haven't you?
We're going to start something called Perfect Match or something here.
Perfect match.
Oh,
Well,
where's
the
Dexter?
perfect match is.
Where's Dexter?
Maybe.
You're laughing at me, mate.
Maybe Heidelberg. They've won 2 out of 5.
Yes, yes.
Ain't bad, I suppose.
Let
but,
me talk about this bloke here.
Who we got on?
George, welcome to Footballers. How are you, George?
Welcome, lads. Good to hear from you again.
Well, you know, George, we are the soccer psychos of Australia, and of course we know the game, and we party about it, and we do things, and we've got you back on the George again. You know, we want to talk about. I tell you what, it's been a long time since we got you on. It's been a long time since a game started in Victoria. Is that right?
Well, now listen.
Been a long time, hasn't it, due to COVID and everything else, lads?
Well, this is.
But,
Oh my God.
But never mind, we're back now, and I think we're back in full force, and I really can't see too many stoppages this year, which is great news.
Oh God.
Well-
Unless some guy by the name of DA does something about it, George. DA.
Now, George, you
Yeah, I can't see something like that taking place again.
Thank God for that, George. Go on, Frothy.
well, George, you mentioned the word force. Now, let me give you a force. I've done a combination Harry, you are unrecognisable tonight.
Don't
Is
worry
that
about
Harry
that.
I'm sitting next to
George,
here?
right now,
sorry
I'm
about
wearing the Heidelberg United, Fitzroy United, Alexander shirt. George, how's that?
that. Well, he's wearing that, and I've got something special for George later. But let's get to this. Well, George, what I've done an all-time great combined South Melbourne Hellas team with your mob.
Oh, no.
What are they called?
Oh, no.
Heidelberg, I think.
Fitzroy United, mate.
Heidelberg. Now, I've done a greatest team of all time. I'll run this by you and tell me possibly where I've gone wrong, George. Now, here we go. Numerical, is that the word?
Numerical,
yes, that's the one.
for
Now,
formation.
we've gone Peter Lawman, Salon Davidson, Mike Pye, Steve Blair, Mehmet Jurakovic, Paul Wade, Oscar Carino, Paul
Right.
Triboli, Alan Evans, Gary Cole, and Lozanowski. Now,
Is that all? Is that all, mate?
Well, wait a minute. That's
Only
11
one.
there.
Only one.
Well, hold on. Let's see if George has got anything to say about that. George, would you agree with that
George,
lineup?
Please say something, George.
Hey, Frothy, you got it so wrong.
Exactly.
Now,
Exactly,
hold on.
mate.
No, we're talking about all
You
Socceroos
got
here.
it
How can
so
that be wrong?
wrong.
Well, they're all...
I think we need to go back to the 80s and just think about, the Heidelberg outfit that had 9 representatives
Oh,
play for
Yankos.
Australia in the one
Yankos.
game.
Yankos, mate.
Jeez, oh, mate, Jack Rowley, Jeff Olver,
Yes.
Charlie Yankos,
Yes.
Jimmy Rooney,
Yes.
Gary Cole, Jim
Yes.
Tansey,
Yes.
Jim Campbell. Are we serious, Frothy? What's going on?
Have a look at this.
Well-
Look at one we're in tonight.
Well, I'll
mate.
tell you what, I'm only 32 now. I haven't really seen these guys.
He wasn't born
play,
there, George. He doesn't know what he's doing.
Well, sure.
Hey,
we get-
Harry, I think the jabs had an effect on Frothy, mate.
That's a beauty.
Well, I've named all Socceroos
honestly.
here. Maybe we could put one other in there. Maybe Chris Katsakis, maybe. He was another star from the 80s.
Yeah.
Mate, we both. The truth of the matter is that both teams had a lot of superstars back in the
course.
day and continue to have some of the greatest players of all time. So you know what? You could probably feel you'll create a national team out of both of those teams
Exactly.
and have a very
could.
forceful 11. I think the history tells you that, and no doubt we've seen that over the
Now,
time.
I've got something for you, George, right now.
What
now,
have you got for him?
Now, George.
I've got something with George. He
Now-
might like this. It was
Oh,
about
no,
4 weeks ago.
don't play that thing again. Oh, God, I'm going to lose it. I'm going to lose it again. Now, George, what I'm going to ask you is,
George
it took
loves that tune.
They built the facilities, the brand new.
South
Hang on for a
Sorry
second,
about that.
mate. The facilities down at Heidelberg, they built them. They had them ready, and we had 1 year probably of no football. Is that right, George? And it was
Yes,
just
that's
waiting
right,
there,
yes.
brand new nearly. Everything was brand new. My God, man, you guys must have been fighting to get on that field. Is that right?
Is that right?
Yeah, look, it's been fantastic to be playing on an amazing pitch at the moment. I think there's still a lot of surroundings to be completed, but let's not forget the work that's taken place has been absolutely incredible. The new light towers, the massive scoreboard, the massive electronic scoreboard, obviously the synthetic pitch, all the car park facility, and soon to announce the club rooms and the grandstand
Fantastic.
refurbishment.
Beautiful.
It's just going to be something unique, something special. And you know what? The winner for this is soccer itself.
That's right.
Well, listen, George, we spoke off air last week, and look, I cannot possibly think of you saying this now, but you did say Heidelberg's round is nowhere near like Bob Jane, because if you say that, you'll probably get the... Can we say arse, Harry?
Oh, what happened then? No.
happened? It just,
I don't know.
come
The
on.
lights have to come on. Oh,
The lights, there we
the
go.
lights have
Sorry, the
come on,
lights.
there you
Have you paid your bill or what? What's going on?
I did pay a bill.
Yeah,
That's
well,
fine.
Now, Heidelberg's round. Look, full credit to the guys. I mean, it's better than before, but nothing like Bob Jane. We went there when we noticed your team go down, George. Now, obviously, that wasn't a good performance by the lads.
Yeah, look, I think we got off to a very slow start, but I mean, traditionally that has happened to us often. It's happened quite a few times, and
Yes, it has.
we start slow and come home very, very strong. And the signs are there at the moment. We're starting to find ourselves. We're creating and playing some really good football. We're on the end of 2 massive results. Obviously,
Yes.
beating Oakley 2-0 and then beating Melbourne Knights on their home turf 4-0. I think it's a credit to the boys. We've come
Absolutely.
back really, really strong, and I think that these are just the early signs of something special to come.
Now,
So you'll make finals. Can you give us a prediction? Will you make the finals, George? Now, be honest.
Make the finals.
I think we've got enough quality. I think we've got enough quality to make finals. And once you get to those finals games, you know what it's like. It's open slather. You know, everything's possible.
It is.
I've got something very serious to talk, George. George, we heard a week ago that about two weeks ago we had a very bad information from you guys about your administrator there passing of John Demitzis, mate. A lot of people want to know about John. I think John had a lot to do with Heidelberg United. Is that right? For many years, is that right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Look, we were in a position where over 48 hours, we lost two of the greatest presidents of all time at the club. And John Dimitis was one of them, and Arthur Nicolaitis was the other. Both gentlemen served for a very long time at the club. John Dimitis was a member of the FFV and also Football Australia. You know, his contribution to football was second to none, and he led football for many, many years here in the state as well as at Soccer Australia. So, unfortunately, we're going to miss him. You know, his input into our game, be it at Heidelberg at a local level or at federations in both state and federal. He was a great ambassador of the game, and he'll be dearly missed, that's for sure.
Now, what I'll ask you is there anything going to be happening there as a plaque going to be put up of the plaque going to be put up of their names up there, a plaque at all, some kind of bronze plaque or some kind of to honour these guys, George? Is it going to happen?
I'm sure there will be. Once all the new facilities completed, I think not only those two gentlemen, but a lot of people who have passed and contributed will definitely be recognised in honour of those people. And I think, you know, let's not forget, along with those two gentlemen, there were decades and decades of a lot of people who've come and served and made the club what they are or what it is today. And I think that needs to be protocol. You know, I think in the passing of those people, we need to honour them.
And, of course, every club always relies on volunteers, and these guys were massive volunteers. And the survival of the club through these volunteers is really serious. Without volunteers, we can't run. Is that right, George?
Absolutely. And, you know, volunteers have a massive part of a lot of clubs, all the clubs, for that matter. And I think that without those people, the game just can't go ahead.
Okay, now, I want to talk to you about the changes you've made this year at the team now. I mean, Adrian Zara's still there. How many years has Adrian been there now? My God, he's probably got a corner in the club rooms there.
Well,
Adrian's
let me answer
corner.
that. He's been there for about a year, and he's spent the last 8 years in a bloody coma thanks to Muskie.
No.
George, how many years have you got him there now?
Yeah, look, Adrian Zara's one of the longest-serving players. He's been there for six or 7 years, along with Ruben Way and Sean Ellis.
Yes.
You know, they leave a legacy at the club. They're just leading by example at the moment, and it just shows you that what we've built around the culture of the club is quite significant. People don't just want to leave from that club.
Yes.
You know, we had the likes of Stephen Pace, Luke Biles, you know, Les Dumbalas, Jack Petrie. There's so many names that have come and gone, but they've been there for many, 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 many years, and it just shows you when you put a really good group together and you form some culture and you bring in a winning mentality that, you know, people will be a part of it. They buy in and they just don't want it any other way.
And players like these guys, once they see the club, they want to hang around. Is that right? Now, these new guys you brought in as well. Now, how many guys have you brought in this, George? Who can you name that you brought in this year?
Ivan Franjic.
Yeah, look, we've definitely got the Franjic brothers, Ivan Franjic and Joey Franjic.
Yes.
I mean, you know, that goes without saying. I mean, Ivan's contribution to football in the national team at A-League level, you know, he's second to none. Probably one of the most respected players in Australian football of all time. And, you know, just to have people like Ivan in our club rooms or in our changing rooms has a lot of added value. And, you know, along with himself comes his brother Joey. Yes. There's been the likes of, you know, Josh Pinn, Brendan White, who, of course, was part of the A-League system. You know, there's so many. There's Brian Summerskill. There's, you know, Kane Shepherd is back.
Yes.
The names just go on. And to be able to bring in that calibre of player into our rooms just shows you what we're about.
And also, Ivan Franjic, of course, he was a Socceroo. He played at the World Cup as well. And of course, he had an accident at the World Cup that he came off and didn't play again. But you think one day we could actually get him on the show? We can get him to come on the show, Ivan Franjic. Do you think you can allow him?
Well, hold on,
George.
Now, hold on, guys. Now, if we get Ivan Franjic, I mean, the subject's going to be Brisbane Roar. We're talking about a championship player here, Harry.
Yes, we do know that.
Now, it just goes to show you that the Heidelberg team is half South Melbourne and half Brisbane there.
Here we go again.
Well,
Just say Brisbane all around.
Hey, Frothy, I reckon, mate. Have you been on the beers or what have you been on?
Well, I've been smoking a bit of grass.
He's got
today.
this Asali beer. Don't talk about it. Don't talk about it. For God's can't say.
Well, hold on, George. Let's be serious here, mate. Ivan Franjic is not a shadow of himself. I mean, you've got to admit that. Now, tell the supporters out there, he's not quite. If he was Ivan Franjic, surely he'd be playing for South at least, wouldn't he, George?
What?
Well, that just shows you that we've got something right down at the Burger Land. We've been able to attract people like Ivan Franjic to the club, and along with Ivan Franjic, there's so many others, the Kane Shepherds and the Brendan Whites, and every single player that we've signed this year is just a sign of what we've been able to do as a club. And credit goes to our committee and the whole board for being so active in the off season to be able to bring that quality of player to the club.
I have noticed. Yeah, you're coming on, Frothy. I have noticed that every time a big-name player, let's say an A-League player comes in or someone like that, George, it does bring people back to the club more. Is that right? When you see names like this. Now, have you noticed more people at the club now with Ivan Franjic playing their former Socceroo A-League? He's played overseas as well?
I think, look, it does attract a few more people, but I think what really attracts the people is the results, and let's not kid ourselves.
Yes,
if you're able to get the results, and then you're obviously you're getting people through the gates, and
that's right.
That's why we work so hard to make sure that the results are positive.
You're right, George.
We continue winning and bring people through the gates.
Well, correct, George, because at Bob Jane Stadium, when you guys went there, what was it, 4-0 or 4-1? Went down to South, I think it was.
I wasn't there.
I could have counted the Heidelberg supporters on one hand. But look, let's get serious here. Let's do a comparison. And there it is. Harry already wrote that down.
I saw that. That's right.
Yep, and this is, and I just didn't make this up as we go along. The A-League NSL comparison. Now, this is going to be a tough one here. Ivan Franjic or Fausto Diamicis. Now, I tell you what.
Oh, boy.
Harry's gone for Fausto. How do you pronounce his bloody first name?
Fausto.
Something
Si,
like
senor.
that. Who would you say would be the better player, George?
Oh, geez, look, both in their times were very good players and a lot of quality to both. I think, nothing can be taken away from either. It was different eras, different football.
Correct.
But just their representation in soccer in Australia, is phenomenal. So both during their time have served and given us a lot of joy. So, let's not forget that.
Well, okay, let me put it to you in a different way. If they were both 25 years old, and they were both available, but you could only pick one, who would you pick, George?
Oh, let's just be real. I think they're not. They're not 25, and they're not.
Well, let's just say
and they're not. And they're not comparable. Look, I think they're both in their times. Were very, very special players, as is Ivan.
Yes.
And as Ivan is currently, he's just an exceptional player, and then you can actually see why he's played for the country on so many occasions.
That's right.
Yes,
and why he's been in the A-League system for so long.
No, good answer. I think George should get to politics, mate. You know what?
Move over. Are you going to give him that? What's that thing called? That
what are we looking at today?
That list of stuff?
I can't recognise you. Are you Harry Sunday? What the hell?
Of course I am Harry Sunday, mate.
What's going on with your weight loss?
Don't call me Elvis, okay? Stop calling me Elvis, okay?
Well,
Jesus.
listen, now, George, have you
mate.
competed now? Well, let me just get this. Well, hopefully he doesn't see this. I know he doesn't watch it.
What?
Let me just get
Oh
this.
no, here we go.
Because I'm gonna present.
I'll send this show to George.
Now listen, George. Have I given you the 30-second shot clock?
No,
I can't remember.
Never happened.
A bit of dementia kicking in. Obviously, well, 32 got dementia. Do you believe it?
I can't believe it.
Have you attempted the shot clock, George?
I better turn it on,
I think we have done it, haven't we? We've done it before.
I don't think George. He's got new questions here, actually.
I don't think we've done it. Well, let's go through it again because there's
a
lot of Heidelberg supporters watching tonight. George, there's
the
about 6 of them. Now, Harry, start the clock, please. Here we go, George.
I like it. I love it. I want some more of it.
Now, George, you recognise his tune? Yes or no? Yes, George. Do you recognise that tune?
Yep, South Melbourne.
Correct, thank you. And that's one team you love to coach. Now, dogs or cats?
Hey,
Dogs or cats for you, George?
there's always a catch.
A cat or a dog, George? First question.
He's getting me
I
confused
can't.
now.
Yeah, can't
Dogs,
hear you,
or,
lads.
dogs or cats for you?
Sorry, guys, it's just not clear. I can't hear.
Yeah.
Yeah,
well, there
it's
we go.
George. It's
Well, let's,
a dog or a cat. It's the first question.
Now,
Oh, definitely dog for me.
Okay, here we go. Favourite movie? He's gone. Is he there?
Favourite movie, George?
1, 2, check.
Hello.
George, you must be in a tunnel somewhere.
He must be in the tunnel somewhere. You
That's
must
Yeah,
be-
I'm just going through a bad patch here, guys.
That's right. Yeah,
Bad
George.
patch. Well, you're in the toilet, are you, George?
Favourite, was it?
There we go. Favourite
I'm in
movie.
the car driving, lads.
Yep, no,
Okay.
that's fair. It sounds like you're in a dunny to me. Favourite movie?
Scarface.
Hardest opponent?
My hardest opponent, South Melbourne.
Well, correct. Now, I'll answer this for you because you're Greek. My friend over here is Greek. He said, how do you like your steak? And I would say, medium rare.
Medium rare.
That's the one. Yes, coffee or tea for you, George?
My what?
Coffee or tea?
Definitely coffee.
Best soccer player of all time. Now, George, please don't say Kenny F.U.
No.
Franz Beckenbauer.
Oh, that's a beauty.
Harry,
that is
please
an absolute
stop
beauty.
the clock there.
I'll stop the clock there, mate.
Please. Now, George, now seriously, mate, have you heard of Ronaldo and Pele and Messi and
Excuse me, but
Paul Trimboli?
I was a defender. I was a defender in my time, yeah.
Well, no, that's fair. Harry, start the clock, please.
Here we go.
Here we go. Twitter or Instagram for you, George?
Insta.
Vanilla or chocolate?
Definitely chocolate.
Corona, real or not real?
Sorry?
Corona, real or not real?
Real.
Yes, I agree with you. Now, were you one of the disco boys, or were you one of the rockers? They used to call them the rockers back in the 80s.
I love disco. Love disco.
Love disco. Well, put it this way. In a couple of weeks, Harry told me we're going to have you in the studio here, and we're going to have a disco night. Harry, we're going to have
we'll ask George to bring Ivan Franic, and we'll have a disco night in here. How's that?
Well, I'll tell you what. If he brings Ivan Franic, I'm going to...
Ivan, not Ivan. It's the woman's
Ivan.
name.
What, is it a girl, is it?
Ivan.
No.
Oh,
Well, now, George, I don't know if you're watching. If you can be stuffed watching after, I want to present you with this jumper here, mate.
I don't think George wants to see this.
George, I'll give you a clue. It's a blue and white jumper.
I hope it's black. I hope it's black and yellow, lads.
I'm the one wearing it.
No, it's blue and white. I think it's got South Melbourne Lakers on there. We here at
South Melbourne Lakers,
yes,
mate. That's a defunct team, isn't it?
well, no, there's a top there, and we here at Football S, we want to give you this jumper, George.
I don't think so.
And it'll only cost you $800, George. How's that?
Is that all it will cost me, lads? No, there's no issue with that.
Well, that's fine. Well, consider that
George,
yours. I'll put that in the
one
post
of those,
tomorrow.
one of those old. Did you ever play against the Lakers, George? Did you ever see the Lakers play?
Well, of course
the
he did.
South
Everyone
Melbourne
knows that.
Lakers,
He's
and
right
watching
there.
those jumpers, those shirts.
South Melbourne Lakers, not back in my time, guys. It was South Melbourne Hellas at that point.
That's the real name, actually. Yeah. So,
Well, that's the one
George,
there, but,
what are we looking at this year? In basically. Bringing kids up to are there many kids coming up at Heidelberg? I know we've had the stoppages and everything, that sort of stuff. Has that brought back the development a little bit, or have you basically got more kids coming into the club there?
Yeah, look, we've been really fortunate. We've developed a kid by the name of Dion Nicolaitis, who's played the last 3 games in NPL. He's been a standout for us, and he's one of the kids that's come through. He's only 18 years old, and of course we've got a 19-year-old goalkeeper in Nick Harris, who both have come through our junior ranks, and on his way back from injury is another 21 or 20-year-old in Anthony Theo. So, we've got 3 really, really good kids who have come through our junior levels and are playing senior football at Heidelberg. And, that could be everyone's dream at the moment, that not because of the times, but more so because of the development process, that some of these kids have been able to be developed and come through and find themselves playing senior football at the team that they, grew up at.
And also, what I want to ask you as well, George, is, are
tune.
you guys still on track for the 2nd division? Are you on track? We're talking.
Absolutely.
I know what's going on there right now.
Come
In the next
on.
few months, we're going to know
It's
about the
not
2nd division.
going to happen.
Well, it's all been spoken by James Johnson. That's the
Don't
first thing
worry
on the
about
track.
James Johnson.
That's the first
He
thing
has
on the
no idea.
on the
No
rack.
idea.
They're saying They don't want to put any
Well,
more
the
A-League
crap,
teams.
not rack.
No more development. No more A-League teams expansion.
not going
They're
to
looking at
happen.
well, of course, Frothy, as you know, if we don't get a second division, we get thrown out of the Asian Confederation. And you've heard that, George, for sure. I'm sure you have.
That's right, and that's correct.
Well,
so it's about time that they get serious. We get this second division up and going, and start to develop with the rest of the world, and
Of course.
and move in the right direction.
If we don't get that second division, Frothy, we're talking about development here. When you have a second division, you've got more kids playing in a second division, trying to develop. Is that right, George?
It's exactly right, guys. We need to be able to develop our own and
right.
make sure that we're producing enough to be able to be a powerhouse again, like the golden era of the Socceroos. Of the Socceroos.
Exactly.
Well,
Frothy?
let me look now, serious guy. Now, George, you've been around a long time. You're a couple of years older than us. You'd be probably 41 these days. Now, look, if a second division was going to work, it would have worked years ago. Now, let's be serious, guys.
This is a...
Why all of a sudden they talk about a second division? Is that because
Well, I
crowd
think-
numbers now? There was 509 people at the Western United game, George. Now, if they're not going to rock up to the big boys, are they really going to go and see Avondale Heights where they're playing someone's backyard?
No, they won't be playing
or the village?
Avondale Heights won't be there.
Well, mind you, the village is actually...
Well,
good
let me
standard
just
these
tell
days.
you guys that if you've got a South Melbourne Heidelberg derby going on, I can guarantee you 5,000 to 10,000 people.
Exactly. I was going to say 10,000 too, George.
That is a given, and you know that's
True.
the reality.
No, that's
reality
true.
is that the derby football brings the people. Historical teams will always produce and bring people, and it's about time that the federation had a really deep think about what direction they're going to take and the teams that are going to be involved in order to start to get back to those those glory days of football as we have been used to growing up with them.
George, I've had a bit of contact with someone from your club. Let me just say her name is Anna. Now, she's heard rumours, George, you're probably not going to believe this, but she's heard rumours that if South were to offer you more money, you might end up leaving the Burgers because you've been here for a while and, well, you've had a bit of success, I suppose, but is there any truth in that, George?
Oh, look, football's a funny game, eh? You just don't know what day-to-day brings. You know, I'm there for the love of the game, and no doubt everyone knows that the Heidelberg is my beloved team. But, you know, some things come to an end and times turn and things happen for a reason. So who's to know?
Now, George, what I want to ask you is
a good source is Anna here, George, and she made
here
it
we go.
quite clear to me that you would be on your bike overnight.
I don't know about being on my bike. I'm with my beloved Burgers at the moment. And
Well,
very
beloved or not,
difficult to
mate.
drive. Very difficult to drive another bike at the moment.
That's right.
Well, let's see what...
Yeah.
Harry, watch this space.
Watch this space.
Watch
Now,
this.
George, a
That's the
few
one,
weeks
yes.
ago, you may have noticed that the... hang on, Frothy, again. A
He
few
loves his
few weeks ago,
I
you
can
might
see
have had
George
noticed
coaching
something that
South
happened in
Melbourne.
Sydney,
Why not
and we need to
coach
actually bring this down here. And I'm thinking that Harry
Best
Michaels,
people.
and you know who Harry Michaels is, of course, involved
I
in
do.
football, very big now. They had that special on online there, the Australian Football Legacy. What they tried to do is get with the FFA together and try and unite the game again.
many players
And they've got the A-League, what do they call those guys? The A-League's chairman as well getting involved to unite the game. They want the second division. They're talking about this to unite the game. Now, George, we know, and I know, and you know, and Frothy will know this, that
Well, what
there
will I
are a
know?
lot of supporters out there
Yes,
from
they are.
former NSL clubs that will not go to any games. They want to go to their clubs, and they want to see the clubs back in the second division. Now, this Australian Football Legacy is that sort of situation where they've done this function. They're going to bring it to Melbourne, and I've spoken to one of their chairmen as well at the Australian Football Legacy. They want to bring this thing in Melbourne, and they want to actually get people involved here who have been in the game in the NSL and try and unite the game. Do you think it's a good idea?
Absolutely awesome idea. It should have happened years and years ago. So if you're going to ask me categorically, will I be a part of it? I certainly will.
Exactly. And that they brought players together in Sydney from former NSL clubs, from Olympic, St. George, Look, they brought so many players together. They even brought Les Shine Flag. They brought Socceroo coaches, Socceroo identities. And this is what we need in Melbourne. We have so many people, so many players here, George, that are not being acknowledged in the past to try and unite the game with these guys. I mean, I found out a few things about Georgie Campbell, who played for South Melbourne, and we know that's. Well, I can't talk too much about that. Not having.
Does he excite me?
Excite you, but let me tell you, George, to have
pillow,
players like that, and also Gary Cole not being sort of like a put into this legacy as well, where they need to be involved, and they're trying to bring this to Melbourne. I know you want to be involved, but Harry Michaels is trying to get this happening down here. Now, will your club be involved in that?
I'm sure they will be. I think historic clubs, the history, needs to have those clubs involved, and there'd be no other way, I'm sure, that they would be entertaining something like that 100%.
Now, George, who are you playing this week in the NPL?
So we've got Altona Magic, but we're off to Geelong tomorrow night in the Australian Cup.
Yes.
Yeah, so we've got the Australian Cup tomorrow night, and then we've got Altona Magic at home.
Which everybody now can actually understand. A few weeks ago, James Johnson went to the one of the A-League games and says they're changing the name of the FFA Cup to the Australia Cup, which is very... Now, that name comes back... That name actually is right back in the 60s, George, would you believe? We did have an Australia Cup at that time with all the clubs played together.
Back to the future.
So they've got back and used that name, and I do know who actually... I know a guy in Sydney who kept lobbying them to actually... used the name Australia Cup again. So many beautiful clubs were involved, George, during the 60s, early 70s, before the NSL. So that was the only national competition that we had at that time. Do you actually remember that at all, George?
Correct, I certainly do. And it was a big part of that. So played in a couple of the Australian Cup games as well.
Yes.
Back in the day, and definitely was one of the bigger and better competitions going around.
Fantastic. Now, Frothy, you got a few questions for George before we bring him on?
Excuse me, man. I'm trying to sing a song here. Now, George, I'll tell you what. Let's talk real football. We can't say soccer because David Ben, he deducts $5 from your bank account.
I know that.
So if he deducts another $5 a night, you'll be left with 15 in total.
They're laughing. Sit down, please.
Well, now, George, let's test your knowledge. Newcastle Jets are playing Sydney FC. Who do you think will win that game?
Unfortunately for Newcastle, I think Sydney might be a little bit too strong for them.
Well, they're playing at the Hunter, so have you changed your mind?
No, I haven't.
Okay, fair enough. There we go. The Knicks are playing the Glory, and the Glory are in, I tell you what, they're in a lot of trouble. Andy Garcia's gone, Harry.
He's gone?
And Steve McGarry's gone.
Oh, my God.
Now, there's a position there at the Glory. George, would you take it?
I'll definitely be thinking about it, but at the current situation, I think, I think they'll need to improve dramatically.
Well, George, you just said before you're yellow and black in heart, mate, and you just admitted on air that you'd get on your bike and go over to the Glory. I mean, well, I wouldn't blame you.
That's a bit far, George, isn't it, to travel to WA or what?
Take you 16 days to get on your push bike.
WA's a beautiful state, eh?
It is.
Well, there's strong hints there, Harry. What was I saying about Anna, who's in the committee at Heidelberg? Well, there's a hint right there.
Who is Anna? I want to know who this woman is. I want to talk to her.
George knows exactly who she is, and I know who she is too.
Okay.
Well, here we go. Now, Warren Moon is a lucky man because my great team, and Yvonne Franya's great team too, Harry.
Yes, I know who that
they
is.
got up on the
Of course.
weekend. They
Yes,
won.
I do.
Well, I don't think they're going to win. It's played over in Banana Land, George. Brisbane are playing the Western Sydney Wanderers. I can't see the Brisbane boys winning, George.
Tricky game. Tricky game. Although the Melbourne boys are on fire, I just think that, I think it's a tricky game. It's one of those you've got to be careful of.
Yep,
Exactly.
no, that's fair
They're
enough.
playing at Redcliffe, an hour outside of Brisbane.
No,
God.
they're playing at the Dolphin Stadium, apparently.
That's what it is, Redcliffe.
Well, that's the one. Same bloody thing, I suppose. MacArthur, the Bulls are playing Melbourne City in Campbelltown. I can't see him getting over the line, George.
I can't see that. I think Melbourne City will be way too strong.
Let's agree to agree there. Central Coast Mariners, Adelaide United at the Blue Tongue Stadium. Bye-bye, Adelaide.
I reckon a draw's written all over that one.
Hey, draw. Well, there you go.
I'm sure of it.
Well, this team here, they're, what do they call here, Harry? I can't even, what do they call? Something Victory. What do they bloody
Melbourne Victory, mate. Say the word.
Well, that shit team over there.
Oh, no, don't swear.
Well, they are a shit team, Harry.
Just say something, mate.
I predicted something last year and it came true. And ever since then, George, we've been trying to get Mr. Mirabella on the show, and for some reason he doesn't want to hop on board again, mate.
Very shortly. He will be on shortly.
Well, let's hope he will. Well, the Victory are playing the Wanderers at Amy Park. Well, put it this way, George. Let's hope the Victory lose.
Big derby could go anyway.
Well, it could, I suppose, but I tell you what, the Victory, they're 4 games. They've got about 4 games in hand. Mathematically, they could go first in the ladder, and I'm sticking to my guns, Harry. The Victory will win the league this year.
You're really saying that to
go.
me. Now,
I hope I'm bloody wrong, mate.
Before we let George go, George, I want to ask you
where's
something.
he going with the night show?
Now, I have a scoop for you, George.
A scoop.
And you may have heard this. That when the second division is up and running, they're saying
It's not going to happen, I'm
next
telling you
year,
now.
They're saying next year
Oh,
that
load of crap.
the club that actually wins it will have a place in Asia. You might have heard that one. Is that right?
Ooh.
A place in Asia
That's a
to
big
play in the
rumour,
Asian
that one.
Champions League. I've heard that. Yes.
Bit of mythology
What do you think of that?
there, I think.
George, you there?
I think he's gone.
Hello, George. You there?
Check 1, 2. He's probably.
I think he's
probably gone
George.
under
Are
the
you there?
table.
Can you hear me, guys?
Yes, I can.
Now we
George,
got you.
did you hear that question I said to you, George?
Oh,
No.
Okay, the question is, did you hear when the second division comes along next year, saying next year? That's what James Johnson's saying. They're organising things behind the scenes.
Well, I say I'm going to win tax
Hang
next
on
year,
for a
Harry.
sec. This is very important.
It is important,
They
yes,
said,
sorry about that.
they have said, and this is a scoop for you, George. This
It's
is
a
the
big
first
scoop,
time
yeah.
someone's saying this. They've said that if the second division is won by the first club there, and it's won every year by a club, they will have a place in Asia. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, it's great idea. I think it just gives something to all teams to strive for, and I think that would be quite special to be honest.
And also the exposure through Asia as well, George, will be massive. You know how big these Asian Confederation games are through playing those Champions Leagues up there. I mean, we don't get nobody coming over here, George. But can you imagine one of the former NSL clubs playing in an Asian competition? Can you imagine everyone coming to the game here who's going to see a former NSL
It would
club?
be
What do you think of that?
Absolutely phenomenal. It'd be great for local football. It'd be great for NPL teams. It'd be good for the second division or NPL teams that take a place in that second division or the B League. So, it would definitely improve the standard. It will definitely improve facilities, and it will make sure that everyone's on the ball.
Exactly. George, we want to thank you very much for coming on tonight, George. It's been a pleasure having you. Always,
Thanks,
we like you
guys.
coming on. Always got some great stuff to talk about. And, well, we're going to see you down at, maybe coming down in a few weeks down at Heidelberg, actually watch a game with you guys.
Yes.
That'd be great.
And can I say this, Harry? Now, George isn't supposed to hear this, Harry. I don't know if he's listening still.
Of course he's listening.
But let me make a prediction.
Here we go.
We are looking at the new Perth Glory coach here.
The new Perth Glory.
I think
George
is on his way.
this guy's spreading rumours here. George, are you enjoying this?
My friend, my colleague,
my God.
my good source, Anna.
I'm at my beloved burgers. Going to take a lot to move me from there, guys.
Well, you might like your burgers, mate, but they've got Hungry Jacks up there as a sponsor.
They do have Hungry Jacks. How did you get that one?
Well, they do have Hungry Jacks. And,
They are in Perth, yes.
Well, let's face it, George. I mean, Heidelberg are paying you $500 a week. If they give you $1,000 a week, surely you're gone, George. Now, be honest with us. I mean,
You're right. No, you're definitely right.
absolutely right.
I'm only getting a Souvlaki and a can of Coke at the moment, so I might even take a souvlaki and a Coke, and that's it's quite rewarding.
Yeah, hold on,
All right.
Harry. Is a souvlaki, is that like a Greek kebab or something? Is it?
What do you think it is?
I've got no bloody idea.
We're losing the bloody culinary style of Greek stuff here, the way you're
That's the
saying it,
one,
mate.
yes, well, no,
Oh,
George,
God.
I tell you what, it was a pleasure talking to you, mate. How's that?
George, and you've got a few people here tonight from... you got
Kenny Taylor,
Kenny
Stanley.
Taylor's on
Kenny
there.
Taylor,
Peter
Blesby.
Loud or something. He's
And
on there.
Lou
A
Beccaris
lot of
and Jimmy
people from
Peter
Heidelberg
Lutmans
United tonight. So there you
and
go, guys.
Stanley Matthews
Thank you,
is
George, for
watching
coming
tonight.
on.
They're
Thank
all
you very
watching.
much, George.
Thanks, Chance. Thanks very much.
Thank you, George.
He is a
Cheers,
champion.
mate.
Thank you, George.
He's
Thank
the
you.
next
Mate,
coach of the Glory. Let me
has
just say this.
The knowledge that George has, I tell you,
he's got a lot of knowledge.
don't say because Heidelberg United or South Melbourne, the rivalry, whatever. We are talking about a coach here, a coach who's so experienced, who's actually he's also won the Australian Championship, NPL Championship as well in Queensland a few years ago.
Well.
The Burgers won that as well. And I tell you what, mate, he has got so much experience to go further. He should go further.
Well, thank you very much. He's off to the Glory. It's
Well,
as simple as that.
are you thinking that he's off there? Is he?
Well, I'll
Can
tell you what,
can somebody talk to us here tonight from Heidelberg who's watching the show right now? But I tell you what, guys, And once again, we don't have Mr. MPL on here online, so we can't get him on.
Well, where is he? Can you call him?
I don't know,
at
mate.
least?
He's missing in action, MIA.
He's missing in action, but...
Now, I want to talk to you about the Socceroos this week.
Well.
Well.
Socceroos.
Now, I'm going to talk about Benedict Arnold. We're in a bit of trouble with Benedict Arnold again. He's done it to us again. Do you realise he's broken the isolation protocols? He's actually gone out of isolation before he should have gone out. How's this? He stuffed us again. This guy has to now go in a little room there and actually coach him from a TV. How's that? Bloody Benedict Arnold, you've done it again, mate. You sabotage the bloody game against Japan, you mug.
Well, let me be frank.
Benedict Arnold, honestly, mate.
Let me be frank about this. Now, if the Socceroos don't make the World Cup,
I don't know.
he still holds his position, well, bugger me, mate. I've got no idea what's going on. He must be paying himself to stay in that job because I'll tell you what, they're playing Japan, next week, are they? Or this
Friday night.
Friday night in
Sydney, guys.
And,
Who's going to the game? Who's going to the game?
They will not beat Japan.
Are you serious?
Well, you told me that before we started the show.
I never said that. That can't be Japan. Here we go. We've got David Ben, our sponsor here, guys.
Well,
yes,
what's David Ben
we
saying?
will make the World Cup, he says. David says it.
Well,
you're going to
come
fight
on,
with our
David.
sponsor here or what?
So what's he going to say? We're going to win the World Cup too?
No, we're going to make the World Cup. That's
They're
what David
not
says.
going to make the
Now,
World Cup. This is the weakest Socceroo outfit I've seen for years.
I want to talk about Fonaroli. Bruno
Flopperoli.
Hang on for a sec. Bruno Fonaroli making the World Cup squad at 34 years of age. Will he play?
Now, wait a minute.
Benedict Arnold put him on the ground. Who knows?
Well, when Fornaroli came here, apparently he came from another country. Where did he come from?
No, he came
from Uruguay.
From Uruguay. He's now.
Well, hold on.
The brand new laws, the brand new FIFA laws.
Well, stuff
he's
the
able
laws.
To play. Stuff the laws,
If
mate.
he's from Uruguay.
We need anybody and anybody
so
right
he's
now.
Uruguay yesterday. He's Australian today. Now, how does that work?
He's been here for over 10 years or something.
Well, what does that matter? What is he?
He's a naturalised Australian now, so he can play.
That is a load of crap. And I'll tell you what, they are getting desperate by putting on Bruno. Well, it's not Fornaroli, it's Flopperoli, because that guy, he makes the Albanian car salesman look like nothing, mate.
If he hung around too, he could have been. He could have made the Australian squad as well. He could have.
Well, look,
that's the other point I'm making. Bessart Parissi would have made it as well.
Well, Bessart
Parissi. These guys are in their late 40s. What can you say?
Well, Bessart, I'll tell you what. Obviously, if he was an Australian citizen, quite possibly the Socceroos would have won more games because he's the greatest striker we've ever seen here. Move over Marshall Soper. Move over Gary Cole. Alan Evans, and you name them all. Who's the other guy? Peter Shan. Remember Peter Shan?
Oh, one of the fastest players on the ground.
Soper.
Marshall Soper, and very
Marshall
good. These
Soper.
guys
but I'll tell you what. Now,
play for the Socceroos, these guys. You know that.
Now, I think the reason why Gav's not on tonight, Harry, I saw a match. Arsenal beat Coventry 4-0.
Is that right?
Now, yes, Stephanie Brandt's called me, and it's the women's team.
Yes.
Now, Gav's still out celebrating the 4-0 victory. Now, Gav, if you're watching, please put down the beer, call in, because we need to know all the results from the NPL.
Well, he's not here and I can't do anything about it.
Well, give him a call. Let's see how we go.
I'm not going to call him. He won't come on like last week. Now, I have another point here tonight.
What have you got?
No, this is very important.
Well, it's very important.
A few days ago,
what happened?
Actually, a week ago, and the information's coming out of Stefan Kamars. Stefan Kamars has left the FFA board. Now,
well, who gives a stuff?
No, I'll tell you who gives a stuff. He's the only football person on that board. This is the problem here, guys. Now, there is a culture in that board, very bad culture in there. It's on our site there. Hang on, Frothy.
Sorry,
and the more football people walk away from the board, the less we have experience in the game at the highest level in the board of the FFA. This is ridiculous. There is a really bad culture in there. It's like it's our way or the highway. It seems to me that we have a lowy kind of disease there. A lowy disease again. Once again, some of these guys in there were under that lowy fella who fell off the stage and whatever. But let me tell you, we need to understand that you guys out there, the FFA Congress who vote these people in, the people who are voted in, you people are to blame for this. You did not put enough football people in the FFA board. You did not choose these
Francis
people.
Oratifi, Kombuchianis, George Katsakis, Harry Sunday, and even Ferenc Puskas.
But let me tell you, this is your problem. This Congress that vote the people, that vote these guys in to become a chairman, or whatever they are, the board there. This has to change immediately. We are losing the game big time here. A lot of problems here that we've got. Stephen Kamaz was actually keeping that together, but he's gone now. There's a lot of things
That's
that come here,
debatable.
and Jack from Sydney, Jack Zervos, have put some stuff up there. I've put it up there. You need to read what he's put up there on our site, former supporter site of National Soccer League clubs. It is disgusting that we have people there who cannot see that Stephen Kamaz is a football person. And not to have him on that board, he came on that board for stability. That stability now is gone. It is ridiculous. It's time for the Congress to come in and start voting the right people in for the game. We've got a problem here, guys, at this level, right up the top there. We've got a problem with the money the kids are spending, the parents are spending. Where's that money going to? I mean, this is ridiculous. That's another point that people keep telling me, Harry, we spend too much money, we don't get enough for our money. That's the point as well. So Stefan was there for the stability of the game, and he's gone. And who's responsible? I believe he was pushed out there, and he couldn't stand the culture anymore of what's happening in that board. It's time that these people stand up and be accounted. It is ridiculous. Stefan was a person who came right through from the NSL, right through. They put him in there for a few months, and now he's gone. Yes. This must stop now.
Disappear.
We need football people immediately in the game. It has to happen. Otherwise, forget it.
F-U-C-K oath.
Hang on. Forget it.
That's not swearing.
Forget it, guys. It's time to stop the mess. The mess has to go right now. Kombutsiana said a few things yesterday on WA radio, West Australian radio as well. He's had a gutful. We've all had a gutful.
So have I.
It's time that football people are put in the position. What happened to Craig Foster? He was putting his foot in the board there. They never got him in there. What's going on here? I mean, there's a lot of people out there that should be there that aren't there. Guys, please, if you're listening out there in the FFA Congress, it's time to stop the rot. Thank you.
Well, Harry, now that you've had that, you know what? I thought you were going to have a heart attack
I've had a gutful.
You can't have a gutful because you haven't got a bloody gut anymore.
Well, we're going to finish shortly, guys.
Well,
tonight.
Look, we might finish shortly, but seriously, Stefan's out.
We've had enough. We've had enough.
Well, I can see you're upset, but be positive. Now, Stefan's out. Now, who would be the perfect replacement, Harry Sunday?
I would be telling you right now, Craig Foster was one of those people. Craig Foster put his foot into the board there to get into the board. He wasn't even voted in. They didn't want a football person in. They were not voting football people in.
Well,
why is this? Why is this?
I tell you why this is. Because Craig Foster had to go with your mate Ange many, many years ago. Now, you know what? I'm pissed off too now. Now, he had to go with Ange many years ago saying, you can't coach. You haven't got what it's got. You've got no results. Now, Ange Postecoglou, well, let's be honest here, Harry, he would have to go, short period of time he was coaching the Socceroos, but would you say he's probably been the best Socceroo coach we've ever had?
Look, you could have said yes to this, definitely. But there have been coaches in the past. We're talking about Frank Arrock. Frank Arrock was an amazing coach too. But
he was an amazing coach.
It was a different era at the time. We didn't have the golden generation either. So after him was the golden generation. Then Ange
took about amazing. This
players,
beer is amazing, and so was 4X as well.
He took players and he tried to get him in there and put him into the World. Got him into the World Cup, but we can't even. Hang on, we couldn't even get out of the. We have not been getting out of that group stage. But the big test is this Friday. This Friday's crunch time, and what that guy idiot has done, Benedict Arnold, to actually break his isolation rules, and walk the streets or whatever. He's ridiculous, guys. That's another not going to work well in our favour. I think that it's time to get an international coach somewhere who's got brains. We'll see what happens on Friday, and if Fonaroli plays, let's see what happens. We don't have kids in there to be put in there. It's a failure. It's an absolute failure.
It's a failure?
It's a failure. What can we do? We've got to use overseas players again. Overseas players like we did the old days.
Now, here we go. There it is right there. One of the committee members from Heidelberg has confirmed with me. I'll just mention her name again. Her name is Anna. I don't know who this woman is.
Here we go.
And she has confirmed that George will be on his way out at the end of the year if they don't make finals.
By the way, we just had to say it's Thursday night, guys. Thursday night.
Thursday night? What's Thursday night?
It's the 25th. This is where the Socceroos are playing in Sydney for the World Cup qualifier against China.
No, they're playing Japan, aren't they? I thought they're playing Japan.
They're playing Japan in Sydney, mate.
Well, look, the Socceroos, unfortunately, they're gone.
Well, here we go. This bloke's giving us the boot. Here we go.
Well, look, you and I, we spoke about this off air, Harry. I mean, the Socceroos, look, it is unfortunate. They are nowhere near the standard where they should be.
Well,
and our mate George, he made a good point. You could get the best 11 Heidelberg players and they would beat the current Socceroos.
I could think so.
Do you agree to that?
Well, we're talking different eras here when he said that as well.
Well, it doesn't matter the eras. The thing is, they used the round ball back then, and they also had grass back then, and they also trained, and they were also great players. So I tell you this, but I tell you what, he didn't like my combination. I only put one Heidelberg player.
Well, that's the
there.
problem. You know, he should have a lot more. Have a look at my Heidelberg shirt. But
So
let me
you
tell you right now, don't forget, guys, tonight we are looking at these fantastic shirts.
Well, let's
There is
go
only
through
one
them.
football. There is only one football. I've got
Well,
the Heidelberg United shirt.
Yep.
We've got the Brisbane
Lions,
Lions
they're
shirt.
the great
Phillips
team,
League.
mate.
We've got the Hungarian
St. George.
St.
St.
George
George,
Budapest guys from Sydney.
And let's
We-
go through our sponsors, mind you.
Of course,
There's
there's
only one football.
Who's making
and we
these
all know
shirts,
that.
guys, at $75 plus postage.
Plus, and you know what? That is bugger all. City Lawyers, our great
Lawyers that
mate
come to
Carlos, what's his name?
Carlos Bielli, guys.
That'll do. And where's the other sponsor gone?
Arrow Sport make
Arrow Sport.
fantastic kits for teams, guys. They
They do,
make
mate,
teams
and,
for kids. The cheapest kits for
The
teams.
cheapest, and I tell you
If
what,
you're
they
looking
charge
for a guy to
bugger
make
all.
you a whole kit for your team, this guy makes the best kits for the
Well,
right
they do,
price.
I suppose,
Exactly.
and,
You can get 3 shirts. If you're doing futsal as well, he can
Yes.
give you 3 shirts
Thank you
very
very
cheap,
much.
and you can get 5 shirts or 6 shirts for about $50.
Yes.
$50, would you
Bloody
believe? Very
bugger
cheap,
all, I
guys.
reckon.
So now.
Now let's call Mr. NPL. Surely he's
No,
going to
I'm not going to call Mr. MPL
Give
right
him a
now.
shot.
He's not on. Sorry, Frothy,
Well,
he's
why don't
not
we get
on.
a random caller? Let's see who can call us and talk about the great
Well,
game.
we're going to finish right now because we've got a lot of work to do tonight.
Well, hold on. We've got another 12 minutes. Maybe
No.
we can get this official from Heidelberg, Anna, to call us.
No.
If Anna's watching
think
tonight,
we're finishing
well,
tonight,
why don't
guys.
you call and discuss the great game?
I'm not. We can't get no one on random, of course, because we've
Well,
tried that
why
before.
Not? Why not? Well,
So, guys,
so
we're
that's
going to
it,
finish.
isn't it?
That's it for tonight, guys.
Well, let's get loud.
Hang on. In 2
Let's
weeks'
get
time,
loud.
I've got a we got a recess for 2 weeks. A recess for about a week and a half.
Oh.
We're back then with another special guest, guys. So a recess.
Well, where
I've
are we
got
going
some-
for 2 weeks?
Well, I've got to go for my parents are not in a well state up in Queensland, so I've got to go up there, guys.
Well, no, that's a fair point there.
Don't forget, guys, it's
yep.
all happening right now. Yep.
Yep. So that's it. We're done, are we?
We are done. We're trying to find
Now
out
we're
what's going
back
on
next
here.
Monday. Now, tell us what's happening next Monday.
Well, next Monday.
Who we got
the
on?
show doesn't happen next Monday. I won't be here next Monday.
Well, what
That's
about
right.
the Monday after?
The Monday after, we'll be back for sure. So
We'll be
yes,
back for
yes.
short, so we're taking a
That's right, guys.
7-day break. What's that, about 126 hours?
That's
or something?
right, yep,
well,
yep,
look,
yep.
Now, please, Harry, can we please sing another song?
Here it is right now, guys.
Maybe
Thank you for
Can
joining
You
us
Feel
tonight,
It
guys.
from Michael Jackson?
No, well, I don't think so. Here's the song,
Well,
guys.
what about, Billie Jean, or... Well, what about...
Thank you for joining Football Us tonight, guys. We'll see you in about 2 weeks' time. We're going to find out what happens on Thursday night with the Socceroos, guys. Benedict Arnold has bloody done it to us again. Check it out. Thank you guys for joining us, George. We'd like to thank George for coming, George Katsakis, the coach
Katsakis.
of Heidelberg United, the coach. Good luck this week, George.
Will be the new Perth Glory coach. Now, I have got a
Feel it,
very
guys.
good source from
Check it out.
Heidelberg. Yes, her name is Anna. I don't know
Feel
who
it, man,
this
right
woman
now.
is,
Feel it.
but I'll tell you one thing. I spoke to her today about the George
cup of life.
Katsakis saga.
This is
and
the one.
she can assure
Now
me
is the
that
time.
George Katsakis
Don't
is
never
on his
stop.
way to Perth. Now,
We should
reason
know.
being, well,
Gotta
obviously
be
money.
strong.
And money talks.
We
bullshit
shouldn't
walks,
know.
apparently.
Right
Now,
from the top. And
she
when you
bangs.
feel the heat, the world is at your feet. No one can hold you back if you really want it. I see it in your eyes. You want the cup of life.
South
Holidays here, you're gonna get it.
Heading for another
Do you really want it? Good night, guys. See you very soon. In that 2 weeks, guys. Good night, everyone. See you in 2 weeks on a Monday night, 30. Good night, guys. Thank you. Hi guys, Harry Sunday here, letting you know that there's a apparel company that supports the game that you love. It's called ThereIsOnlyOneFootball.com, guys. They've got all sorts of stuff, from caps, t-shirts, water bottles, all sorts of accessories, even for your mobile phone. All that sporting stuff you can wear anywhere you want to wear it, guys. That's right. And don't forget the website it's on, ThereIsOnlyOneFootball.com.
There's only one football.
To show you what's happening
Yes.
right here, right now in the studio, because we got this beautiful shirts that we're showing with Frothy right now, guys. Frothy's back with me. Frothy, what's happening with these shirts, mate? Can you tell me what's happening right now?
Shut up, let me talk.
Oh,
Now,
bloody
listen,
hell, mate.
We have these great tops here.
Yes.
Now, it's a bit of a 2-minute show tonight, I believe. So
Yes.
we're back in town, but we'll be
We are.
officially back in town on
That's right,
Monday
yep,
with
yep,
some
yep,
major announcements and start again. Announcements.
Yes.
Can you spell announcements? Can you?
Announcements.
Can you spell that?
I can't spell
Well,
it
leave
all.
it for next time. Now, let's go through the tops. Now,
That's
these
right, yep,
tops,
yep.
well, if you were born 400 years ago, you'd know about these tops. So we've got the great St. George here, I believe.
No, Brisbane Lions,
Sorry
mate.
about that. That's Brisbane Lions there.
Brizzy Lions,
And we
mate.
got South Melbourne Hellas there.
No, Fitzroy United, you're
Sorry
telling me,
about
mate.
that.
Fitzroy United.
This one's Intermonaro, is it?
Into Monaro.
No, that's St. George, Budapest.
St.
apparently.
George, yes, the Hungarians,
and,
the Hungarians,
and over
mate.
to my right, which is your right as well. Are we still
Yes.
on?
We're still on, of course,
on?
we're still
Well,
on, mate.
over
Yes.
here, we got the great Sydney Olympic. And I know the cat has probably ordered a couple of
Oh,
those.
he's got a couple of hundred, mate.
Well, I'll tell you why he's ordered a couple. I had a chat with Peter Raskopoulos during the week.
Oh, he hates his guts.
And he said to me, Peter Catholos, a cat, has ordered two because his gut's so bloody big, he needs two jumpers to make
Really?
one. So, well, look, that's only a joke. Cat.
Oh, my God, mate.
Well, look, also, Canberra, what's this? Canberra City.
Canberra City. You know, you know who coached them?
Yes.
In 1977?
Frank Garrock, wasn't
Johnny
it?
Warren.
Johnny Warren.
We're laughing, mate, everywhere.
I told you so, Johnny Warren said. I doubt we sell many because how many supporters did they have? That's beside the point. Also, we got Hokoa up there.
That's
great,
right, of course.
Brazilian heritage, are they?
Brasilia, well, yeah, a lot of them escaped to Brazil.
We'll leave it at that. And the great Marconi.
Marconi.
And let's go through them. Great quality.
Of course.
They fit nicely. They are cheap. You know what? They're too bloody cheap.
$75.
$75 is not even $80.
Plus postage and handling.
Plus postage and handling, and our great friend with David Ben and
Yes.
Arrow Sport.
Arrow
Those
Sport
come-
together.
yes, they
There
come
is only,
together.
and then guys, you can buy them on. There's only
Well,
one
you keep
football.
going. I'll play the great South Melbourne tune.
There is only one football where you can get it from. There is only one
There's only one
football.com
football,
in
yes, sir.
conjunction with Arrow Sport. You can also buy fantastic
Yes,
kits for your teams as well
yes.
at Arrow Sport, and they're working together to bring you these fantastic
Yes, they are,
1977
they are. Are we still on?
Phillips
Check 1,
Lee.
2.
Of course,
Check-
you're bloody
Sorry
on,
about
Frothy.
that, yep.
And of course, guys, 1977.
Yes,
These shirts are fantastic. You've got the other ones at $150, which are the
Well,
rigid jigs, $150,
yes,
and then
but,
you've got the sublimated ones
yes.
at $75, guys. So yes.
Yes. And can I just say, I
Yes.
suppose it's not appropriate to say this, but my team had a win on the weekend.
Yes, they did.
Well, not the weekend, a couple of days ago. So they're flying, and I'll tell you what, it's pretty much it. Now we're going to sing a song just to.
Well, I
finish
can't.
the-
We can't. We
the
can't
short
actually.
show tonight.
We can't actually sing a song tonight
No,
because
well,
we're just
doesn't
doing
matter.
the. We're just doing the show tonight.
Well,
That's
we're
all.
just advertising the jumpers here.
That's
and,
right, guys. But where to get them from? There is only one football.
That's the one there. And,
So, guys, thank you, guys. Get these fantastic shirts right now because you will never find them. Good night, guys. Thank you for joining us. See you in a couple of days' time.
Yes, a couple
Thanks,
of
guys.
days,
Get on
and we'll
Arrow
see 'em on
Sport.
Monday, you know.
Arrow Sport. There's only one
we'll
football.com.
probably have Paul Wade on
Thank you,
Monday, I
guys. See
believe.
ya. Bye-bye.
Well, there's
Thank
going to
you.
be summer we're going to have.
That's what football is.